Hey guys, and Happy New Year. I'm so excited to kick off this new year with my first interview, which is going to be with my friend Plague Beast. And if you don't know him, you're going to know him after this interview, and I'm so excited. Before I bring him in, let's check out a clip of one of his songs. Hey everybody, I finally have my friend Plague Beast in the chat, and we're so excited to interview him. So welcome, Plague Beast. How are you doing, friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited. You're my first interview of the year because I had to bring you in first. I was like, man, I gotta do you first because I talked to you the most at the end of 2022. So I was like, all right, this is your year to shine, and I'm here. So, but before we jump into the new year, right, I just want to do a quick recap of 2022 because I just met you recently in 2022. So,
Right.
What was your favorite part of 2022?
It's a toss-up between two things. Career-wise, the show I actually met you at, I got to play with Dropout Kings and Notions. That was insane. Personal-wise, me and my wife had a daughter, so that was really exciting as well, of course.
Give me all the babies. They're so cute. Yay. Oh, it's congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh man, wow, I didn't even really know all that because I'm always so constantly talking to a billion of people, and I know a lot of people have kids, but I'm like, I don't even know. Everybody's having babies and getting married because it's that season. So I'm like,
right.
And so obviously I know you just talked about that show, and I don't know if that's going to be your answer, but what was the favorite show that you were a part of in 2022?
Oh, hands down, the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll talk about a different show too, but that Dropout Kings Notion show was just awesome.
Yeah, y'all killed it. That was honestly, yeah, no, seriously, it was the best day of 2022 for me because
oh wow,
brought it, and it was so fun. The best show I went to in 2022, and I know my boyfriend's gonna be mad at me for saying that because he's a musician, but
well, I'm glad everyone else felt the same way. A couple other people.
The other show that you were talking about.
So I hadn't played shows since like 2018. I kind of took a hiatus from music, and then I kind of got friendly with some people in the scene. A band called Caravel. I got to know their singer Dalton real well, and they were playing a show at Scout Bar, and he found out that I had done music. He's like, well, you should come out and do this. So that was like my first time playing a show back in like 3 years. And through that, I met some awesome people. All the other local shows that I do is pretty much with Caravel or another artist I met there. Trippy Goblin. I end up on like all his showcases now. And if I didn't play that show, I wouldn't have met him. So it was also really important. Yeah.
Because I know y'all just did a Christmas, right after Christmas or something like that show.
Yeah, it was on December 23rd. It was like a toy drive thing at BFE Rock Club. It was like $10 for a ticket or bring a toy, and then I think the American Legion delivered the toys on Christmas Eve. So we got a few gifts for some kids. It was great.
We gotta do another show with Trippy Goblin so I can come out to it. So
yeah, absolutely.
And so did you hit any accomplishments or milestones in 2022? And if you did, what were they and how did it make you feel?
Definitely. So of course, anytime you check a box or strike through something that's done, it feels amazing. To go back to goals for 2022, I kind of got to go back to 2021. So I talked about I was on a hiatus from music. I still continued writing stuff here and there, but I never really recorded anything, didn't really work with anybody. At the end of 2021, when we found out that my wife was pregnant, we had a roommate, and she basically just kind of left unexpectedly. Like, we talked about it, she was excited, said, we're gonna need like help with rent and stuff. Like, she's not gonna need to sleep in this other room for months. Like, you can probably stay for like another 6 months or so and it'll be fine. And we all just still have cheap rent. And she was like, okay, yeah, whatever. She went to Christmas with her family, and they were like, you need to get out of the situation, blah, blah, blah. She had to do what was best for her. I get it, but it left us in a really shitty situation. Yeah. And that kind of just started me back writing again. And after doing that, early January, I actually hit up Kalen from Notions. Like, I'm writing like a trap song. Is like, you guys are a big influence of mine. Do you mind listening to this? And he was like, hell yeah, I sent it my way, whatever. And that kind of snowballed and started the rest of the year with doing everything else. I mean, Notions is probably my favorite active band right now. And I got to do multiple songs with them. I got to play a show with them, got to see them in concert multiple times. Played with Dropout Kings, did a bunch of recorded stuff that's not even coming out until this year. So it just, yeah, it's exciting. Plenty more to, there's already a whole other Notions Plague Beast collab done. It's just getting mixed.
Well, I'm ready for it, because after I first met you and talked to you, I had Bloodhound Step stuck in my head. I'm not even gonna say days, okay? It was weeks, and my dad was like, when are you gonna stop listening to this damn song all day long? And I'm like, never.
Never. It's part of the routine now.
And man, now I'm so excited. And yeah, you know, I knew a little bit about Notions, but that same night is when I got to meet them a little bit more and meet you. And honestly, y'all just do perfect collabs, and man, y'all really have your own built up community together, and it's amazing. And I was so glad I got to be a part of it that night, and still part of it today. And I'm so ready for what y'all have for 2023 now that I know. I'm so excited. So speaking of, you know, you writing again and releasing a little bit more stuff with, you know, in collabs, what song do you think that you released did best in 2022?
So as far as working with someone else did, it was definitely Bloodhound Step. It just surpassed 21,000 streams. Anytime I ever did music on my own, of course I changed genres. I was primarily like spoken word and did all my own mixing. So it was quite frankly terrible. The highest song, highest streams on a song I had was like 2,000-ish on YouTube, 2,000-ish on Spotify. So Bloodhound Step just surpassed 21,000. Sawtooth, which I also did with Notions, he has a little bit of a lesser part on that song. He doesn't do like a full verse. He just kind of ends out the song because I did some stuff at the end. That didn't do too terribly well on Spotify, but it has like 1,300 views on YouTube for some reason. I don't know why. And then Karibo has like 100 views on YouTube, but like 1,800 streams on Spotify. So it's just kind of all over the place.
In my playlist for sure.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. And then we talked about the IOU one too. And that was also chef's kiss. I was telling you how much I liked it, and I honestly have loved everything you've done since I've met you. And I'm just, you know, again, I'm just so excited to see what you have for the new year. So, and before I'm going to throw in a new question that I didn't, you know, put in our thing, but I forgot to ask. So what was behind your name change? Because I know when I first met you, originally and talked to you, you were River of the same name, and now you're Plague Beast.
Right.
So what was that change like?
So I had been doing spoken word music as far as just writing and having a concept of ideas since 2014. I got really into bands like Law Dispute and Being as an Ocean, and that's ultimately what I wanted that project to be like, kind of like post-hardcore with spoken word led vocals / hardcore yelling. I never found a band, so I just kind of did it on my own, and I got frustrated because it never went anywhere. So when I started playing shows back, I played a few back as River of the Same Name, and every promoter and booking agent got the name wrong on every poster. So that was part of it, with it being so long. It was like River of the Same, River with the same name. It means the same shit. It's just, you know, a little bit different. I was like, okay, whatever. So during 2020, when, you know, nobody had anything to do but write, play video games, whatever, it's kind of a boring story. It's not nearly as exciting, but I changed my PSN from whatever it was to my clan tag was BG, so BG Plague Beast. And I was like, you know, that sounds awesome. That's more where I'm at now. I don't really feel like River of the Same Name fits this kind of music style. People still misspell Plague Beast as Plaque Beast, so I guess I'm not going to get away from that, but here we are.
Honestly, no, like everything you just said, though, I feel like that lines up with your story more, because it was like, you know, you were talking about taking a hiatus, and obviously during your hiatus, that was when COVID happened and stuff like that too. And then boom,
Right.
COVID's done, you have your baby, and you're doing Clouds of Notions and you're taking off. So honestly, I think you literally are the beast rising from the plague that we just had, and you
Right.
are on your way to the top. So I think that name fits so much better for you than River the same name, because that just sets you apart from everybody else, I think. So I like that a lot more.
I'm going to take your description and answer it in the next interview, because
You're
that's
like, I'm just writing that down. Send it to me. I'm
it's like that's
that.
a much better explanation than that's my name on PlayStation.
What I interpreted it as when I like talked to you a little bit, I was like, oh, maybe, you know, that's like the, you know, reason behind the name. But now that I know it, it's honestly not a boring story like you think it is. But but anyways, yeah, speaking of, you know, happy new year.
Happy New Year.
And I met you in 2022 and I'm super happy about that, but I can't wait to hear what you have for 2023. So with that being said, what do you have planned for 2023?
So on February 8th at Scout Bar, Trippy Goblin is doing a birthday showcase thing. I think it's everybody or most of everybody that just did the Christmas toy drive, but we're playing at Scout Bar for his birthday. So it's me, Trippy Goblin, Third Coast Kirk, Search for Savior, and Rooster McCoy, who I met at the toy drive, and they're just incredible artists. And I think Dusty Hayes and Cavito are the other guys. So that's the only thing that's concrete. There's some stuff happening behind the scenes that's honestly very exciting that I can talk to you about after, but I can't put it on the record here. But all I can say is that the Notions guys are really good friends. They're keeping an eye out for me, but that's all I can really say right now.
I got you. That makes sense. You can't play all your cards sometimes. So.
Right.
I mean, I was gonna ask what shows you have upcoming, but now we know. So February 8th, you said at Scout Bar. I'm definitely going. So everybody else watching this, February 8th, Scout Bar, go, or else I don't know. You can't sit at this table with us.
You're just gonna have a boring night if you don't. So.
Yeah, you're boring.
Right.
Out of your house. Put away your social anxiety, damn it. And so what are some other things you have going on or want to do more of in 2023 that you know, maybe didn't do as much in 2022?
I definitely need to get some music videos out there. For Bloodhound Step, me and Kaylin paid for a anime music video. There are a couple of YouTube channels, Toxic, Idle Glance, and a few others here and there that you submit your song to them. They'll basically agree to do it. You pay them, and then they'll like make an anime music video, like frame for frame to match the beat. It's very cool. I forgot to mention that with Bloodhound, because on Spotify, it did like 21,000 right now, but the YouTube video has like 31,000 just from that. Yeah. So that's leaps and bounds above everything else, of course, but I plan to do a couple more of those. I have a few songs that I'm just waiting to be mixed. Everyone has their own guy. I'm working with a band. Their drummer mixes their stuff. That should hopefully be done soon. We're going to try to get an anime music video done for that. And then the one for the next Notions collab, we already talked, we're going to get one done for that. But as far as other stuff I want to do, that's going to be coming. In-person music videos. I can't say everything I want to say.
Well, hey, that's okay, but just know for me, that checks all my boxes. Good music and anime. I am such a nerd when it comes to stuff like that, and I love anything with anime stuff. So I know y'all, and like Notion does that stuff, and I know now you're going to be doing it too a lot more, and I love that style, honestly.
Yeah.
There's something about that music that goes with anime. Is just like, I don't know why it fits so perfectly.
Right, it just works, you know.
It just works.
I will add on to a little bit more. I'll reveal a little bit more. There's stuff not written on my end yet, but I should also be doing a collab with bands that I'm working with, which is As the City Sleeps. I'm their merch guy and roadie whenever they're in town and sometimes out of town, and then Caravel. So you should be able to hear me on some like full band tracks, and all the As the City Sleeps one is going to be like a Swaco track almost.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's still like, you know, it's being formed, but that's the general idea.
I know besides Notions, you know, As the City Sleeps is really good friends with you too. I always y'all talking it up on Facebook. And I'm just so glad that it's easy for you to be put in with some of these bands, because I know a lot of musicians struggle trying to find their place with other people and kind of have those friends to like, come up with. So I'm glad. And As the City Sleeps is so talented and same as you. So I'm glad that it's like you're matching with people on your wavelength, because
Right.
oh man, it's gonna be so good. And well, I guess that also answers my next question of who do you want to collab with in 2023, unless there's somebody that you
Oh, there's plenty more.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, there's plenty more. So As the City Sleeps in Caravel, that's going to be happening this year. Who else I'm waiting for songs to get mixed for? This dude I met through Instagram. He saw a video from the Notion show of me and Kalen doing Bloodhound Step, and he likes Notions. He's also a rapper, so he messaged me. We've kind of become friends, and I'm waiting for his guy to mix a song for us. His name is Boy Wander on Spotify. And Fuzzy Dysfunction, which is a band I met from TikTok, actually. We have a song waiting to be mixed. That's the band that their drummer does all their mixing, and that's going to be like a hard rock metal song. It sounds so sick from the little bit of what's mixed that I've heard. I can't wait to hear the final product. So that and the Notions track, that's kind of what's set in stone for now.
Yeah.
Other people I'd love to collab with. I've talked to Adam from Dropout Kings. Honestly, it's just a matter of him having time and me having money when he's free.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that stopped that from happening. And then there's other stuff. There's a rapper. I'm trying to think of what his actual rapper name is, because it's different than what it is on Instagram. I think it's Dead XO Laughter. He and I are talking about doing something. I would love to work with the Site of Impact, Jinx, Fox Lake. Fox Lake would be a really fun one. And there's plenty more, but off the top of my head, that's what I got.
Well, heck yeah. And I know Fuzzy just, I think, followed me on Instagram not too long ago. So
Okay.
there we go. Now they're going to see this too and be like, hey, psst.
Right. It's like, hey, shut up.
Wink, wink. And so, I mean, I know that you have all these collabs happening and, all this other stuff you got coming up with, making more anime, music videos, and obviously writing more songs and doing more shows. But do you have any other goals for your career that's going to be happening in 2023, or anything that you're going to try to manifest for yourself?
Definitely. So I love playing local shows. I would love to do a run of Texas dates. Hop on with another band. That's kind of some stuff that could already be happening if some other things happen. It's like a domino effect, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then just more local shows in general. One of my friends asked me that the other day, like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to be offered so many shows, I have to turn some down just because it's too much. Yeah, so that's honestly the biggest goal. And then release a crap ton of music. I'm writing 2 different EPs right now that I just have to lock in with Jared of As the City Sleeps. I'm going to go down to his place and we're going to record them. Should be the end of January. We should be recording everything and then releasing maybe closer to the summer, depending on what his schedule's like. But definitely that, play a shit ton of shows and release a lot of music.
Dang. Okay, so we got a busy guy over here. You're writing
right.
EPs. That's insane. And you have a baby. You're just doing it all.
Right.
You gotta save for the rest of us.
Well, I took 3 years off. I have to play catch up somehow.
Right. You're right. You go. And so, wrapping it up a little bit, bringing it down. So I have 3 more questions for you. So as of right now, you're already fans. What would you say to all of them right now?
It's surprising who you think you're friends with until you open a business or until you start doing something. They might not actually be your friends or as close as you thought. A lot of people that have connected with my music are people I met online or at shows. But thank you to everyone who I know personally that has stuck with me and has either sent me an encouraging message on Facebook, whether they listen to the music or not. Just, there are a lot of people I knew, like from church or from Bible college or whatever, that they just like, you go, you can do it. And that's great too. And then there are people that are like you, like, I'm in your playlist, you know what I mean? So thank you to everyone who supports me in one way or another. And just know there's plenty more to come.
Oh yeah, and I know those encouraging words go a long way because like you said, and obviously you can relate even more now that you're a parent. Once you have a kid or you open up a business, that's when all the people show their true colors. So you kind of
Oh
know
yeah.
what real friends are. And it can be really hard and really tough, but the fact that you push through that and keep, being a good dad and releasing, more music and writing more music, dude, all the props to you. Like it's not easy and you're doing it. So keep it up.
Thank you.
And now for people that don't know you, all the noobs, I mean newbies, sorry. Oh,
All the noobs.
all the noobs out there. So what would you tell them about Plague Beast? Who are you and what is your music? What is it about?
Well, I'm Jacob. You can also call me Plague Beast. That's fine. Um, Primarily, what I'm going to be focusing on is trap and or trap metal adjacent. One of the EPs I'm writing is more like hardcore metal, and Jared from As the City Sleeps is going to be doing like all the plugins and some of the actual like recording of the instruments on that. So that's going to be a little bit different. But primarily, it's going to be trap, similar to Notion's rap stuff, Scythe Gang 666, just in that field. So if you like anything like that, darker trap stuff, you should like what I put out. And I just hope you stay along for the ride.
Heck yeah. So before we go and cut this interview, are there any last words or any shout outs you want to do?
Oh yeah. So one, thank you for having me. I'm glad I'm the first interview of the new year and all that. So thank you for your time. As far as shout outs go, always shout out Notions Band. Kaylin, Coda, Michael, and Brandon, they've just been beyond helpful to me. They always give advice. They always keep me in mind for stuff. And that's really cool because I met them through the internet. You know what I mean? They just live up in Austin. And I think Brandon lives in Amarillo, but they just always keep me in mind. That's incredible. Shout out to Kevin. I do not know how to say his last name. Kevin Carestis, King Cold. I also hope to collab with him. I forgot to include his name on the list. He's just a cool guy. He's an excellent producer. Should be working with him this year as well. Oh, yeah. Shout out Trippy Goblin, everyone from the Houston music scene, Third Coast Kirk, Search for Savior, Rooster McCoy, Caravel, and As the City Sleeps.
Well, heck yeah. That's awesome. And like I said before we go, thank you so much for even accepting this interview. You were the first person I thought of that I wanted to interview for this new year. And I seriously hope you get to do all the stuff you have set for 2023. And you'll obviously see me at some of your shows and promoting all your stuff. So, congratulations, dude. Happy New Year. And I'm super excited for all the stuff you have upcoming. So
Happy New Year. Thank you so much.